Hey there, adventure seekers. Today, we're diving into the world of abandoned asylums and the terrifying past events that haunt them. Imagine walking through the halls of a once bustling mental institution, now abandoned and overgrown with vines. The walls whisper tales of lost souls, and the floors creak with the echoes of footsteps long gone. These places are not just relics of a bygone era, but also the scene of some of the most terrifying events in history. From gruesome experiments to inhumane treatment, these asylums are a reminder of the darkest chapters in human history. Stay until the end, and we'll show you where are these abandoned asylums and their terrifying events. And don't forget to subscribe to help us grow our channel. So, if you're up for a stirring adventure, join us as we explore these abandoned asylums and uncover their terrifying past. Abandoned asylums are some of the eeriest places on Earth, each with a dark past filled with tragedy, suffering, and mystery. If you're into ghost hunting, urban exploring, or just love a spine-chilling story, here are some of the most infamous asylums where history and hauntings collide. One of the most famous is Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in West Virginia, which opened in 1864. It was originally designed to house only 250 patients, but by the 1950s, more than 2,400 people were crammed inside. The conditions were horrific. Patients were neglected, subjected to inhumane treatments like electroshock therapy and icepick lobotomies, and some even died under mysterious circumstances. Today, visitors report seeing shadowy figures, hearing whispers, and even encountering the playful spirit of a little girl named Lily. Another truly disturbing location is Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Kentucky. This facility was built in 1910 to treat tuberculosis patients during an outbreak that claimed thousands of lives. Because there was no cure at the time, doctors resorted to experimental procedures, including removing ribs and lungs, often without anesthesia. So many people died that they had to use a body chute, an underground tunnel, to discreetly transport the dead. Paranormal investigators have captured ghostly voices, unexplained cold spots, and even the spirit of a nurse who allegedly took her own life in room 502. In Massachusetts, Danvers State Hospital has a particularly terrifying past. Opened in 1878, it was one of the first asylums built using the Kirkbride plan, meant to offer peaceful rehabilitation. Instead, it became infamous for its overcrowding, patient abuse, and lobotomy experiments. Dr. Walter Freeman, the so-called pioneer of the icepick lobotomy, performed many of his gruesome procedures here, leaving patients in worse conditions than before. Danvers closed in 1992, but ghost hunters and urban explorers still report eerie voices and shadowy apparitions lingering in the ruins. Penhurst State School and Hospital in Pennsylvania is another place with a deeply disturbing history. Originally intended to care for mentally ill children, it quickly became a house of horrors. In the 1960s, shocking reports revealed that children were physically abused, locked in cages, and left in appalling conditions. Lawsuits eventually forced the institution to shut down in the 1980s, but the echoes of its tragic past remain. People who visit claim to hear children crying, see shadow figures darting through the halls, and even feel unseen hands touching them. If you ever find yourself in Australia, Beechworth Lunatic Asylum in Victoria is one of the most haunted places you can visit. It operated from 1867 to 1995, and during that time, over 9,000 people died within its walls. Many were admitted for reasons as simple as epilepsy or postnatal depression and never left. Some were even buried in unmarked graves on the property. Witnesses have reported seeing the ghost of a woman in a hospital gown, hearing strange whispers, and even feeling an icy presence brush past them. In New York, Rolling Hills Asylum began as a poorhouse in 1827 before it was converted into a mental institution. With a history of mistreatment and abuse, many of its patients met tragic ends, their bodies buried in unmarked graves on the property. One of the most famous spirits here is Roy, a 7-foot-tall former patient with deformities who is said to still roam the halls. Ghost hunters have captured EVP recordings of voices whispering their names, eerie footsteps, and even poltergeist activity. If you're into international haunted locations, Gonjem Psychiatric Hospital in South Korea has a reputation as one of the most terrifying abandoned hospitals in the world. It suddenly closed in the 1990s under mysterious circumstances. Some say patients started disappearing without a trace, while others believe a deranged doctor experimented on them. Whatever the truth is, the eerie atmosphere remains. Visitors report hearing chilling screams in empty rooms, seeing ghostly figures at the end of hallways, and feeling an overwhelming sense of dread. Another creepy spot in Australia is Airedale Mental Hospital in Victoria. Opened in 1867, it housed over 10,000 patients before closing in 1997. This asylum was infamous for experimental brain surgeries and early psychosurgery techniques that left many patients in a worse state. Visitors today claim to hear ghostly whispers, see figures dressed in old hospital uniforms, and feel sudden cold spots. Some even report feeling a presence following them long after they've left. One of the most disturbing abandoned asylums in the U.S. is Letchworth Village in New York. It opened in 1911 as a home for mentally disabled individuals, but soon gained a dark reputation for unethical medical experiments. One of the most shocking cases involved early polio vaccine trials on orphans without consent. Many children died due to neglect, malnutrition, or mistreatment. Today, people exploring the site claim to see shadowy figures peeking out of windows, hear faint cries, and find ghostly handprints appearing on dusty surfaces. Finally, the UK is home to the infamous Whittingham Asylum in Lancashire. Built in 1873, this massive hospital became known for the abuse of patients, forced sedation, and starvation. Staff members were caught falsifying death certificates, covering up mistreatment, and performing horrific medical experiments. The asylum was shut down, but ghost hunters claim it's still very much active in the paranormal sense. Strange lights flicker in abandoned buildings, distant screams echo through the night, and shadow figures lurk in the decaying hallways. These abandoned asylums are more than just relics of the past. They are places where history refuses to be forgotten. Whether or not you believe in ghosts, the tragic stories and chilling experiences of those who once lived there make them some of the most haunted locations in the world. Would you ever explore one of these places at night?
Don't forget to subscribe to help us grow our channel.